Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Riordan, and I shall be your host for this evening. Now, this is actually going to be my first attempt at a audio recording commentary, sort of a let's play. So my apologies if everything is not quite perfect from the get-go. I will try to improve with time, and of course, any constructive criticism is most welcome. Just please keep it simple. Anyhow, today we will be playing a little bit of Darkest Dungeon. We're actually going to be going for a boss run. It's going to be my high-level estate, as you can see. Welcome to my little hamlet. Everyone is nearing on max level. Everyone has capped out gear, capped out skills, all the buildings are capped, everything is capped. So what we'll be doing today is actually my very first attempt at dealing with the Swine God, who happens to be the only boss, like the only quest goal that I have left uncompleted. Now, the videos that I uploaded previously, which, my apologies, they really weren't very good, they were actually the first time I had ever attempted the Hag Witch and the Necromancer Lord, so I can't quite recreate the same experience, but this is indeed the first time I ever take on the Swine God. Now, obviously, I have beaten his predecessors, the Prince and King, but the God is new to me. So what do y'all say? We go get some bacon. Now I will speak a little bit about the group composition that I intend to bring along. If you would like to skip past that and just want to get to the gameplay, I'll most likely include some sort of annotation or a comment in the video description or down below, and you can go ahead and do so. My composition is not exactly going to be, a brand new revelation. Oh, well, that's actually rather fortunate because I completely forgot to check if the Swine God was available, but thankfully he is. So, yeah. My composition is not going to be anything you've never really seen before. I intend to bring 2 Hellions and I was about to say a scoundrel, but they're highwaymen. Now, you've probably seen this a lot, and why? Because they're good. They're just damn good. I am going to be bringing Mr. Fitzallen over here. I already looked through my guys. Currently, I don't really have any Warren's Specialist. This is about as close as I come with Hatred of Mankind, which gives you extra damage and stress resist, but only against men. Now, there are some Mankind people in the Warrens, just maybe not that many. Depends on how many brigands we run into, basically. I don't have anyone with a Hatred of Beasts, unfortunately. I would prefer that. I have another guy over here who's a Slayer of Mankind. The crit is very nice. I think I'm going to go ahead and take the Hatred because I am a little bit worried about stress. So we're going to have our Highwayman. Now, my highest level Hellion is Dufay over here. Unfortunately, she's off on vacation. As you can see, the little question mark means she is currently unavailable. I had her meditating, I believe, and she is on a vision quest to achieve enlightenment. So unfortunately, she cannot join us today, but really she doesn't specialize in warrens anyway, so it's okay. On the other hand, we have Tyrell here, who is a warrens tactician, which is very strong. So we will definitely bring her, and I believe the other one is Renaud, who has a Hatred of Beast. This is what I mentioned I was looking for in my Highwayman. Pretty much the same thing as Hatred of Humanity, just 15% damage and stress resist against Beast. Which is actually helpful because there's quite a lot of them in the Warrens, and while they don't necessarily do the highest damage, they do tend to pack a lot of stress. In my 4th group member is where I'll make a little bit of a variation, and I intend to bring a Vestal. Yes, welcome to the clone army. We have 4 Highwaymen, 4 Vestals, and 4 Hellions. As you can imagine, I like them a fair bit. I consider them very strong. I will probably talk eventually a little bit about, Vestal versus Occultist, who's the best healer and whatnot. To make it short, I prefer Vestals, as might be rather obvious given that I have 4 of them and only 1 Occultist down here. But I just prefer them because they're more consistent. Now, obviously the RNG is something that a lot of people complain about in this game, and it is a fair complaint to some degree. But obviously, with so much RNG around, I put a lot of value in consistency. So, yeah, let's bring us a Vestal. I believe it's gonna be. Who's it bringing? The boy Silo. She has a Slayer of Mankind, who's it's not really important because her damage is not at all my concern. I Here we go. Wait, Hatred of Beast. It's not great. I think I had a Scrounger. Oh yes, boy Silo. Okay, so she does have one Scrounger, which unfortunately none of my other guys have any sort of scouting in the Warrens. I actually don't seem to have that many left. It's kind of unfortunate side effect of reaching high levels. There is a cap on how many positive or negative quirks your people can have. And unfortunately, as you reach high level, you tend to be capped out all the time. And while at the beginning it might be possible to, to try to strategize a bit as to who has what kind of quirks and send them there, at the end of the game you kind of start losing track because as they get new quirks, it replaces the old ones. I'm not particularly fond of that system, but I mean, it's what we got at the moment. So apparently she has a one Scrounger, so she will be the choice. So now, these Hellions already have these items, but it's probably not what I'm going to bring. I tend to leave, like, I have quite a bit of stuff extra. I'm sorry, I forgot to take this stuff off the previous guys. I tend to go through this little bit of micro as I, return to town. Ooh, this is junk. Go away. Just stay down there. Because it makes it much easier to know exactly what you have in your collection. So, I don't have to go through this that I'm doing now, wondering where all my gear went. I'm missing 2 rings up there, so that's going to be you. Yes, slight ADD issues. Only slight. So I do have these Hell's Hairpins, which are very strong, 50% damage, 5% crit. That's amazing. I don't really care about the resist affliction. There seems to be a low chance of that to begin with. So if your character's stressed out, more likely than not, they're going to get an affliction of some kind or another. The death blow resist is kind of what scares me. Your death blow resist is not particularly high to begin with on most characters. And at this point, I really don't need to take any risk. As I mentioned earlier, my talent's completely maxed out, so really my characters are a lot more valuable than any of the treasures that I could hope to get. So there's no point in risking them, for a little bit of gold or something. As you can see, I'm not exactly scrounging for pennies here. So, I believe I'm just going to leave 1 Bleeding Pendant, and I'll give her a Legendary Bracer. Now, Legendary Bracer is also extremely strong damage-wise. 20% damage and 5% crit, that is massive. It's even more than the Hell's Hairpin gives. The problem is that -6 accuracy, I do find it to be significant. I personally do value accuracy. I think it's a very high source of damage that people often overlook. And also, again, if you're wondering about RNG, well, your accuracy affects it a lot. If you have low accuracy, you're going to be missing a lot. That's just how it works. So I don't want to stack 2 of them, but I'll just give her 1. The other one is Tyrell. We're going to give her the same sort of treatment. Just, some nice damage, crit bonus, a little bit of accuracy loss, but I think we can live with that. Now, on my Vestals, I do favor these feather crystals. I rather like the speed and dodge. On Vestals, it's kind of interesting. Some of them have, like this, for example, slow draw. It's a negative quirk, but I actually rather like it on a Vestal because I don't necessarily want them going first on the first round. So this is actually, to me, a very strong bonus. Then she'll actually be very slow on the first run. On the first turn, sorry. So most likely other people will go first, and possibly the enemies and somebody of my team will take damage, which allows the Vestal to actually have something to do. They do a little bit of damage, they can stun, but a lot of people that are worth stunning tend to have high stun resist, so a lot of the time I just have them heal. So yeah, we'll just give them feather crystals. Now the downside to this is I don't necessarily care about the stun resist, but the move resist might seem insignificant. but it actually bothers me quite a bit. As you can see, I'm using Judgment, Dazzling Light, Divine Grace, and Divine Comfort. Mainly these two. She prefers being in the back row, and by prefers I mean she is utterly useless if she's in the front, so she very strongly prefers being in the back. So if she gets moved to the front, like if I don't get scouting and I get surprised or some enemies just move you around, that is really painful because, I mean, in the front row she can do, I believe it's the heal, Divine Comfort. I mean, in the second row, I'm sorry. That's all she can do. She can't do this or any of the others. Her other abilities she could use, but as you can see, they're not even leveled on this particular character because I just don't use them. All my clone Vestals are very well cloned. They all have the same abilities and whatnot. So yeah, in the very first rank, she can't do anything at all. So it is very unfortunate she gets put there, but it's a risk I'm willing to take. I like the very high dodge that it gives her. Her max HP, 10% from affliction. I'm looking at the wrong person. Okay. Whoops. Oh, it's a good thing I noticed that because I was equipping the wrong person. I was like, why does she have an affliction? That's because she didn't enjoy her last run. And yeah, she's off meditating or something. So, Pinel, are you the one that's going? No, it's Boys Up. Oops. Okay, so, got that sorted out. So, oh right, I was just talking about the slow draw, whatever. Well, not a slow draw, on Vestals, not really anybody else. Filter Crystals, okay. On my Highwayman, we are taking Fitzallen over here. I already have them kind of with this default loadout, which has pretty much been my bread and butter Highwayman loadout for a long time. The Archer's Ring, I'm a very big fan of. It does give you minus 1% crit, which I really don't like, but 20% accuracy is massive. It only applies to range, but I tend to mostly use their range attacks, so it basically means that they never miss, which is a very, very valuable thing. Again, consistency. I value it. But lately I've been moving towards these Sniper's Rings. They give a little bit less accuracy, and in rank 1, you actually get a accuracy penalty rather than a buff. And I do believe the way that this works is that if you're in rank 1, the ranged bonus will disappear entirely. And in rank 1, you'll get minus 6 accuracy. I'm actually not entirely sure about that. You might just keep both. But in any case, I like it basically because you don't get the crit penalty. So yeah, let's go with that. Now let's just double check that I did everything correctly this time. And everyone is running the correct gear. Okay, great. Alright, let's go get us some bacon. Now, I actually am a little bit nervous about this. As I said, this is the first time, and it should be a medium, but let me just double check. Yeah, it's a medium. There's one campfire, so it's medium, but I'm a little bit nervous. I'm sorry. I actually do kind of fear the Swine God a little bit. I do consider him the strongest enemy currently in the game. So we're going to be taking things seriously here. Now, a lot of people might wonder why the heck I take so much food. Well, food is kind of the only type of potion that you have in this game. It's just something that I feel is overlooked by a lot of newer players, possibly. There's no health potion or anything. There's no mana in this game, so there's nothing to worry about there. But health, outside of combat, you can only regenerate it with food. And I mean, again, at this point, I don't care about money. I just want to keep my dudes alive. So taking 5 stacks of food is perfectly reasonable, in my opinion. I'll probably use most of it. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and take the 6th stack of food. If I have too much, it's not great. You know, I wasted some gold. If I don't have enough, that is a serious problem. Similarly with shovels. If you have too many shovels, damn, they're kind of expensive. You know, a stack of 4 shovels is 1,000 gold. Not necessarily great to throw away 1,000 gold for no reason, but if you don't have a shovel, it's kind of the same thing as if you don't have food and you get hit with a hunger event. You know, you take some damage and you take a massive amount of stress to your people. Not worth the risk in my opinion, so no, 4 is good. Now, we're going to the Warrens, so there might be some use for anti-venom or bandage. I'm gonna take probably a couple of herbs. They tend to give a lot of food in exchange for herbs in the Warrens, but also there's a couple interesting little curios that will give you buffs. So we'll roll with that. Not gonna bother with key. Mm, nah, torches. I'm probably gonna. I normally run dark, but I'm probably gonna chicken out because, as I said, I am a little bit scared of the great Swine God. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take 4 torches. Now, I'm not gonna use these at the beginning or anywhere throughout the dungeon really to keep the light up. I'm gonna save them until I'm right outside the boss room and just pump up my light right before I go in, and kind of cheat the system a little bit. And that way, I do most of the dungeon with a really high rewards and crits from the dark effect from having no torches. But then for the boss, we're gonna tone things down a little bit because it obviously does increase monster damage, and that is something I'm very concerned about when facing the boss. I'm not gonna take any keys. I'm not gonna take any holy waters. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and take a couple extra torches because in the Warrens you can actually find the curio scrolls on the ground. If you burn those, they actually remove a negative quirk from one of your guys. So we're gonna take a couple just in case we run into them. All right. Okay, and let us embark. Hopefully I didn't screw anything up, and let's do this.
The great thing I had managed to bring through was brutish and stupid. Moreover, it required prodigious amounts of meat to sustain itself. But this was only a trifling concern. After all, I had a village full of it.
All right. Pardon me while I take a drink of water. Let's get going. So now it doesn't really matter which one of these two is in the front necessarily. She has robust. You have a little bit more dodge. She is evasive. So congratulations, you are our pack leader. Something I check a lot is because sorry to forget. It's important to know like which one of your guys is ideal for opening traps. Now this could be one of two things. I like using an occultist personally especially because I give them the item that increases their resistances to everything. So even though their trap resist is not necessarily the highest, if they fail to disarm the trap and they do get hit with it, most likely they'll just resist whatever effect they were supposed to get. They'll get the stress obviously, but they won't get blighted, bled, diseased, or anything. So I like using them. But since we don't have an occultist around, my other default person is the Hellion. Now, this guy, you see, he has a trap resist of 70, which is the same as the Hellion, and his bleed, blight, and disease resist are all 80, while hers are 80 in disease, but 90-90 on bleed and blight. So we'll be using her, or whichever one of them has a combination of higher health and lower stress, basically. The Vestals are not generally good trap opening people. So, whoa, alright, so this is kind of silly. Um, in my experience, bosses are never really in the first few rooms. I would be highly surprised to just randomly bump into him around there. But while on that note, I would be rather unhappy to randomly bump into the boss. I like knowing ahead of time where they are, which is the reason that I should have, yes, uncatchable equipped it as one of my camping skills. Because I do intend to be using this, and hopefully getting a good scout on this map to find out where the boss is before we just randomly bump into him. Rather not do that. We will be camping most likely soon rather than later, so actually, yeah, let's just do that. Why not? Everybody has a bit of stress. I'm gonna go look for our first fight. This is gonna waste some light, or rather prolong the light, because every time you camp, it increases your torch. But whatever. Now, remember when I said burning scrolls? I didn't mean books. You don't want to burn books. This game has a very hot, strong anti-book burning message that, burning books is not good for you. You can open up the books with someone, and they have a fairly decent chance of getting a positive quirk, but they also have a chance of getting a lot of stress. And that's something that I would rather avoid right now. My guy's already crapped on positive quirks, so there's no reason. Let's just see what we've got in our first room here. Oh, you gotta fight. These guys hurt. Well, it didn't crit, so this guy's hurt too. Thanks. Whoa, everybody pile on this poor old Renault here. I hate these guys. I really do. They don't do any damage, but they pump out a lot of stress. And when they vomit on someone, there's actually a chance that that person will get a disease, which is really not nice. So I believe I'm just gonna start with, I'm a big fan of if it bleeds. All my Hellions have the same skill layout. Wicked Hack is just a good all-round hack. Then if it bleeds, good accuracy, lower crit chance. I think it's the same damage. I think so. Yeah. So basically, high accuracy, lower crit, and it has a chance to apply bleed rather. We're gonna try to take out this. Yeah, I'd say that took him out pretty well. So yeah, I don't like him. He can do some damage. Likewise, I don't like him. Oh god damn. Fudge. We're gonna start piling on heals. You see, vessels don't heal quite as much as a cultist. Let me rephrase that. They don't heal as much as an occultist can heal. And some stress damage. Not too much to worry about. Oh man, at least they're picking on the other Hellion now. Yeah. Goodbye. I'm hoping to get a heal off awesome before I finish this guy off. Oh, this is perfect. Yay. Alright. I didn't, get to heal her to full, but so we got so much food. So eat, my friends. Eat and be merry. Right. Oh, yeah, I was planning to camp there. Let's do that. This time we'll feast. Not massive damage. Like I just healed most of the massive damage. That was kind of dumb. But I do want to get rid of a little bit of the stress. Not necessarily vital, but I did bring a ton of food, so might as well use it. Now, what is vital is the buffing. That's the reason that I'm camping so early, by the way, in case you're wondering. I want the buffs. Sharpened Spear, awesome. Another reason Hellions are so damn strong. We'll have both of them sharpen their spears. He will clean his guns, another massive buff, and also the reason why you mostly use ranged with the Highwayman. So I would like to get Uncatchable. I actually rather like less. 10 accuracy, 10 dodge, I think. It only costs 2 time. I think that's generally a fairly strong buff. But I need to get Uncatchable done because I need to find out where the boss is. That is top priority, after all the main buffs are done. The other thing I can do is Battle Trance. I will lose the 10 accuracy on someone. I'm sorry, the 10 dodge that Bless would give. But I think we're going to go ahead and do that. I don't think there's any significant damage difference between these two. I think that's just, the difference in the readout is the skill that you have selected. 15 to 23, 23% chance. No, she apparently... Huh. Well, for whatever reason, apparently she does have Precision Striker. Amazing. This girl's really good. Precision Striker, Evasive, Natural Eye is pretty much completely useless to her. All her skills are melee as far as I know. Pretty good all around. So we're gonna have her do Battle Trance, and we're gonna have him do Uncatchable. And then I believe we will rest. So, hopefully we won't get ambushed, but if we do, it shouldn't be terribly bad. Speaking of which, in case you're not familiar with it, the way it works, when you get ambushed, you're at half light, and then after you complete the battle, it goes all the way back up to full. So we had her. That's not what I wanted to do. I have a bad habit of doing that. I try to click on someone to select them when I'm in combat, but then I have some other ability selected, and then they just heal a person who's at full HP, for example. Pop.
Executed with impunity.
Bye. Can't staunch the
Be
flow.
gone, fiend.
Stop whining. I'm not crazy about her getting a damage debuff right now. It's not really necessary, but can't really do anything else, so whatever.
Give them
It
no
should
cover.
hopefully wear off before the next fight. Our main concern is obviously killing the boss and getting gold. Because the heirlooms right now are kind of useless. My town's completely upgraded, so maybe when they introduce, like, they're planning to release new dungeons later on, new classes from what I understand too, which all sounds great, and maybe they'll do something with like, the skills or add new buildings or something. But until then, I have more heirlooms than I know what to do with. Well, or I can't do anything with them, because, yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry. I have a tendency to babble a lot. So, you were evasive, so we'll put this one in second rank. That's not the second rank. So if I know there's a second rank person, I'll try to remember that, but I'll probably forget. So what I'm hoping for right now is scouting. I really, really need the scouting. It's not good. Highwayman is our pretty much main source of damage, although the Hellions, you know, they do a little bit of damage too. Son of a... It just barely survives. That's unfortunate. I'll just have her pop out. Maybe I should have had her just try to finish this guy, but I'll go ahead and break through here. Not ideal taking the debuff, but I only need 1 damage on this guy, so it feels extremely overkill. Well, speaking of overkill, but yeah, it feels overkill just, you know, bashing him in the face. Oh, gosh. This is why I'm not too crazy about using the legendary bracers, unless I can combine them like with sniper's ring or something like that. Accuracy is very important to me. Still alive. The Highwayman will go though, so let's just heal him and then have the Highwayman finish him off. Yeah, let's just, like, you see, with this, I have a 90% chance to hit. With the Dual Savants, only a 72% chance to hit. That's because Dual Savants is melee, so it takes the range debuff, and it does not get the range buff from this item. So we'll just shoot. It's an AoE, it's, you know, obviously you're wasting a lot of the damage potential by using it on one target, but, you know, obviously you take the guaranteed hit on low HP target.
If only treasure could staunch the flow of otherworldly corruption.
Give me scouting, give me scouting, give me scouting. Come on. Yes. Alright. What do we got? What do we got? Empty rooms. Huh. I'm scared about this room right here because I would expect the boss to be like in one of these 4 rooms. Probably like these 2 in the center. So I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go through that hallway, and hopefully I'll get a scout when I walk into this room. If I don't, I'll probably just prepare for this room as if the Swine God might be in there. I'll just completely buff up everybody. Well, not buff up, just use food to heal, basically. Oh, hey, it's the scrolls we were talking about. So, yeah, if you burn these things, like if you just use them, it's likely you'll get a map, which would be very useful to us since we, you know, scouting is very important. But I want to see if there's anyone. Huh. You know what? Like, I actually don't care about any of these deviant taste things. It's not allowed to visit the brothel. Most of my guys tend to meditate. This guy, on the other hand, is an nymphomania, so I left him with his love interest, which means he can only visit the brothel. But, you know, since he's already... The guy likes it, you know, he leads a rough life. I thought I'd cut him some slack and leave him his little love interest. Most of my guys are this, enlightened. We are a very enlightened community who like to meditate. But yeah, there's really nothing negative for me to actually burn. I probably should have looked at that before worrying about it, but anyway. Let's go look for some maps then. I'm going to go ahead and open it with her, because in case she does get some positive quirk, and replaces something that she already has, I'd rather be on her since she's not quite as important, and the other guys tend to have pretty good quirks as it is. Didn't actually see that because I wasn't looking the right direction, but I'm guessing nothing happened because we didn't get any. So now I am concerned. I'll go ahead and bump up to 60%. And then that's for the heal. Oops. Good enough. Let's see what we got. Empty room. That was rather anticlimactic. And here we go, Scotty. That was very useful. Thank you. Better than nothing, I guess. Oh, pile of bones. You need holy water for this. I honestly don't remember like, if it's particularly bad if you don't have the cure interaction device. Usually dead stuff is, but you know what? Let's just... we have no stress, go for it. Loot! Great. Paintings. Oh my, just what I've always wanted. Oh, that's a trap, I almost didn't see that. And let's go in here. Now, we did scout that there's a container here and nothing else. So we're gonna do this little trick. Oh, it's one of those. Open it. Nothing. Okay. So now we just go back the other way and forget that we ever came here. Now I am tempted to go down through here. I do like to get 100% completion. Just go for it. Why not? I'm kind of worried about running into too many fights before we actually hit the boss, and too many hunger events, obviously. But we did bring plenty of food.
Secrets and wonders can be found in the most tenebrous corners of this place.
We did bring plenty of food, so I'm not entirely worried about either the damage or the hunger. So let's just explore a bit, see what we find. Torches, yay! Alright, so oh god, no. These ghouls in the dark. No. If they crit with their howl, they're gonna put everybody on like 50 stress. I'm tempted to just bump up the light. You know what? I will. Screw it. Already had it happen. I actually put up another video of just a quiet little gold run. And that is exactly what happened. Very, very unfortunate. These guys scare the shit out of me. That said, I do want to finish these guys. I could heal her, but this should kill him. And killing him, I believe, is going to do, well, if he dodges, then kind of making me look bad here, but the heal probably would have saved more damage than actually healing her. I'm sorry, finishing the other guy would have done a more effective heal than healing just for 5. Luckily my guys are dodging quite a bit, so that's always welcome. Now, I'm kind of a bit of a conundrum here because I want to kill this guy as quickly as humanly possible, but I do want to finish this guy. Could break through. Let's break through. Whoa! Glad I broke through. And that's another reason that Helens are so nice, in case you needed them. Alright, this time I believe... he has a 95% stun resist. That doesn't mean what it often means in games, like he's not 95% chance to resist the stun. That's just his stun resist. This is my stun base. I'm pointing at the screen like an idiot, but you can't see that. The stun base all the way at the bottom with that little pop-up, 140. So I actually have, like a 35% chance to stun him. Yeah, let's go for it. Resist. Oh well. As long as he's tossing skulls around and not howling, I am perfectly okay with that.
A victory. Perhaps the turning point.
That ends that. Rubies, give me rubies, give me lots of rubies. No, we'll take that. Go away picture. Give him some food. Really would like some scouting. When you have scouting, I'm pretty sure it's impossible to get surprised. So it's very nice to have scouting. Also, it obviously gives you valuable tactical information. Where do you go? It's a lot easier to plan your routes if you scout. Now this is an interesting little thing. I can't hit this guy in the back with if it bleeds, and she can't do Iron Swan from the second rank. That's unfortunate. Let's just go for this guy. I didn't really consider this guy very threatening. He's big, but nah. He's a sissy. I do want to kill this little thing though. Go away. Don't want your diseases, don't want your stress. Just don't want no drama, man. Resisted whatever that was. Probably a debuff, I guess. Smack. Resisted that. Like you see, this guy has 120 bleed resist. But I still put a bleed on him. There's no such thing as immunity in this game. You can have very high resistances, but no immunities.
The bigger the beast, the greater
One
the
down.
glory.
I was hoping to heal before ending the combat, but he hasn't gone yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and kill him.
As victories mount, so too will resistance.
This thing. If you give it your camp, like your firewood, your camping thing, you get a buff or something. I think actually, if you use it without anything, you have a good chance of getting like warrants, scroungers, scouters, stuff like that. So you know what? You go ahead and take a look. What do we got? What do we got? Don't think we got anything. I'm guessing that it was going to give her Warren Scrounger, and she already had it, so just didn't do anything. Alright, that was a productive use of our time. Scouting, awesome. So, empty room, but there's a chest on the way. Fight room with a fight on the way. Do you want that chest? Let's go get it. I'll probably do both. As I said, I like to do 100% completion. Just, you get more loot that way, so why not? Obviously, as long as you're not terribly stressed out and there's still a bunch of fights left or whatever. So, empty room, as I believe we knew it was from scouting. You didn't know that.
Ancient traps
Whoa.
lie in wait, unsprung and thirsting for blood.
It is now black as pitch. Let's see what we got. We got nothing. We seem to be getting a lot of that this round. Let's go fight whoever's in here. So, I guess, yeah. We scouted everything else. This is not the boss room. The bosses have their own little icon. Again, I'm speaking as if you guys are maybe not entirely well, not necessarily, clueless to the game, but not necessarily experts either. If there is an expert watching this, I'm sorry. I mean you no offense. I'm just explaining things for those that might not be quite as expert. I'm gonna go ahead and do the AoE. Not ideal, but I would like to put. Oh, right, I forgot light. Shit. Should I? Fuck it. Victor. Finishes him. Does a little bit of damage to him. Hopefully. Okay, we did rend. That's awesome. I'm happy to see that 16 damage. It can apply a light. I'm sorry. But I'm happy to see him. Oh god, here it comes. Ooh. Not a crit. Very, very grateful that that did not crit. I'm not exaggerating, by the way. If you're in full darkness and this guy crits on his howl, that is 50 stress on every single party member. I am not in the least exaggerating that.
A trifling victory,
But
but a victory nonetheless.
don't care about any of that. Could have taken him, because it was going to use the food anyway. This can give you a trait or stress. We're going to ignore it, because, as aforementioned, I already have traits, don't want stress, yada yada. Oh, I forgot to switch the Highwayman in. Alright, what do we got? Let's see. Run for the old gods. I love that ability, it's so epic. Yeah, just have her pump out the heals. Keep everybody. Obviously it doesn't negate his damage in one turn, but it's a start. I would very much like to kill this guy. Very, very much like to kill this guy. 69% chance to hit. That's pretty crappy. I need to stop using legendary bracers on my helmets. The damage is awesome, but the accuracy, like 69%. Some people would seem to consider that a high chance to hit. Let me tell you, if you've played XCOM or this game or any other RNG heavy game, 70% chance to hit or so is not high. That means you have a 1 in 3 chance to hit, and with my luck, probably means I'm gonna miss. So I'm just gonna go for the higher chance hit. Hopefully, well, I spend a lot of time talking for no good reason. I seem to do that. Resistance. This is a debuff 2. Pew pew. I love it when that guy crits. And 30 HP left. We got another heal off, and hopefully, yes. Ooh. Now, I don't want him to go again. I don't necessarily want to do another breakthrough, but like what? Whoa! Crap. One of these. Damn it! Yeah. Whatever. 8 stress and 2 guys. That's
that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
Yes, yes. I've been told that before. By someone with a voice very similar to yours. We're gonna dump these crests. Not really don't care. Another one of these. Let's try it again, see what happens. Here's deeply stuck. Well, shit. So that's what happens. Scouting, yay. Alright, so this is not the boss room. That's a treasure room, which means a treasure chest and somebody guarding it. Even though it's going to involve a lot more backtracking, I'm going to go ahead and rush straight for the boss. And then I'll do everything else. In fact, I'm going to come around this way. I'm going to come around this way. I'm still going to ignore this. Hopefully, she's going to freak out. Let's just face it, she's going to freak out. If I get a few lucky crits, she might calm down. But she's going to freak out. It's just going to happen. Oh, hey, it's another one of these things. Still don't have anything I really care to get rid of. But I don't need the scouting, because I already have it. So, I don't care about them having enlightened, because I like them meditating. We don't have anything. It's awesome. So what, why don't we give her that same burn. And there you that quick disappeared. At least thankfully it did not hit her. Because that probably not sure how much stress it gave, but if it didn't stress her out completely, it would have taken her very damn close. So we're gonna go ahead and have a little feast outside the great Swine God's room. And we are gonna go ahead and do a little chicken dance and pump up the light. Oh, and this time we're gonna remember to put her in the first rank, which is where I've been wanting to have her. Okay. I am nervous. Let's do this. Let's do this. And there you have him, ladies and gentlemen. The great Baconator in all his glory. 240 HP, 145 stun resist, but pretty low light bleed and kind of mediocre debuff resist. Now, Wilbert is an annoying little bastard. He marks people. People he marks, the Baconator over here, smashes. So, good luck, you two. It's nice knowing you. Hopefully you don't get crit. I'm just going to go ahead and top everybody off. Wilbur doesn't actually do any damage, but the really annoying thing about him... Well, first of all, if you don't know, don't hit Wilbur. You don't want to hit Wilbur at all. Not just kill. You don't want... No. Stop. What are you doing? Okay. Pistol shot on him. Thank you. Do not AoE. I got scared there when he got highlighted. So, yeah, just... Nice. Nice. Very nice. Get her a little bit further from freaking out. Get him a little bit lower. Stack the blades, stack the deeps. That's a fair bit of damage. Seen worse. Yeah. Might see worse. Again, real soon. Pistol shot. That's pathetic. Come on, you can do better than that. I go ahead and heal them both. And just keep stacking the blades. You know, this is apparently going to turn out to not actually be that hard. Oh, that was... I spoke way too soon. Holy crap, that one hurt. So he has 16 damage. Wilbert, you bastard. So yeah, as I was saying to you, another annoying thing about Wilbert, besides marking you and being rather, you know, important to the big guy over here, he's kind of protective. If someone's on death's door because, you know, a big fat pig smashed them into the ground with an axe, and Wilbert does his little mark them thing, it doesn't do a lot of damage, but when you're on death's door, the amount of damage doesn't matter, so he can actually kill people, which is really annoying. So just keep stacking on the damage. That's now 20 damage. He's getting pretty close to the point that I'm tempted to just have her hit him, but no, we're gonna go for a heal. I'm gonna give her a single heal because. So, yeah, this is the end, my friend. Goodbye.
Nothing is even more horrible in death.
That was.
Cannot come soon enough.
Ooh. Oh, hello. Yeah, that was. And I'm assuming it's already over because Wilbur by himself is not the scariest of creatures. But apparently he can AoE stun. I didn't know that. Yeah, it's good. Oh, don't you have those stun? Jeez, girl. Apparently he has a really high base stun. Aha, feels good. Goodbye, Wilbur, you annoying prick.
This expedition at
Ooh,
least
what do we have here?
was a
I actually don't know
success.
this thing. What? So resist affliction. Minus stress resist. That's interesting, actually. Because you get increased chance to resist affliction and minus stress. So you're gonna you're gonna get closer to having your, what do they call it? Your resolve is tested when you reach 100% stress. So you get there more quickly, but you might actually have a higher chance to become heroic. Huh. That's interesting. I'll take that. This is crap. 10% chance to push post skills. Oh, yay. -2 accuracy. No thanks. Like, the -2 accuracy is not the end of the world. It's just the skill it does do is just pathetic. So, I'll take this. I'll take the gold. Always take the gold, man. Got plenty of those lying around at home. Let's open this thing up. So that way. Contents are yours.
Packs laden with loot are often low on supplies.
By the way, I hope I'm gonna try to edit this to the best of my abilities, but currently, as I said, I'm new to all this, so the best of my abilities in this respect is not particularly reassuring. But hopefully the narrator is not terribly loud, and the game in general. Hopefully I got the balance okay. 10% chance to blight skills, blight resist. Yeah, it's mediocre. -8 dodge is actually terrible. So I'm gonna go ahead and ignore that too. You can stay here. And well, let's chow down. Because the boss is dead, the quest is complete, but there's still stuff to be looted. So this was something that I ignored, and I ignored twice. So I'm gonna go ahead and ignore it some more. And not bother going down that bit. It's a trap. So let's take this fight, see what we got there. We don't actually have too much further to go. I may eat some. Yeah, let's eat some more. Just, minimize the risk. I'll go down to 8 food. That'll give me enough for 2 hunger checks, 2 hunger events, whatever you want to call them. Open up a little room in the inventory. These guys are not particularly threatening. Light, how much? 3 3 damage for 3 turns. Eh. That's a lot more significant than your little lights, my friend. Feast on your heart. So, then I go to the bottom. Not the best you got. You know, these things, the first time I saw them, I was like, oh shit, what is that? Not that scary. Especially when you're doing that to them. Hellions are good. What can I say? Hellions are very good. Let's go ahead and heal everybody up a little bit. Another reason I like Vestal's AoE heals. Very nice. That's pitiful. Come on, Fitzallen, this has not been a good run for you. You can do better than that. Apparently you can do it exactly.
Finding the stuff is only the first test.
Whatever.
Now it must be carried home.
I'll take it for now. Probably dump those earlier soon enough. What else we got? Strat. Of course it is. 2 damage per round. I do have, oh, you know what? I'll go ahead and give her this. I'm not concerned about the damage, but I have it. I'm not likely to use it. Might as well. Here's another one of those things. So, stress guy and big non-threatening worm. Now, of course, I'm talking shit about this thing, and it's probably going to go on and crit somebody for 50 damage or something. Kind of like that. Alright, what do you got? What do you got? You got nothing. That's what you got. You dead. Yeah. Go ahead and... this is the last fight, but whatever. It's the principle that counts. Nice. Some gold, some gold. Always happy to see a nice big stack of gold. We're gonna ignore those books. So, I obviously didn't go that way, didn't go that way. I'm just gonna pop out of this hallway. Grab this. Then I will. Apparently not gonna use it. Don't need this. I'll just take this for now. Let's just backtrack. You do gain a bit more stress for backtracking, but it's not the end of the world. Books! Jesus Christ. I really want me to do some reading in this run. I don't want your books, man. It's a freaking Jehovah's Witness or something. My apologies if you're a Jehovah's Witness. You've probably heard worse by now if you are, so I'll go ahead and give you the benefit of the doubt that you can take a joke. That was indeed a terrible assault, and it will not be left unanswered. This is good. Heal. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings or anything, I'm just trying to make a little conversation, you know. But my apologies if you are offended. I don't want to insult anyone's religion or anything, that's not what I'm here for. Anyway, enough of that. Let's just break down. Yeah, you survived. Why not? You didn't survive that, did you? Ooh, or gold. I mean, I don't need the portraits, but I might as well take. You know what? Here, as a reward, you guys get to eat some food. If it's on, you don't get shit because you didn't do any damage. So, just kidding. Just do better next time, man. And the Vestal as well. They kind of, as supports often are, they're appreciated deep down inside, but yeah, nobody cares. Alright, victory. Honestly, like, I really was nervous. I wasn't joking around. I wasn't, just trying to cook up fake drama or anything. I have seen some scary shit from the Swine God. I haven't done him before. I wasn't lying about that. But I've seen other people's Let's Plays, and he's scary. But obviously I did chicken out, and, I used the torches. So I didn't really see the Baconator in all his glory. But, most of his glory. We got him good. Alright. Let's see, anybody got anything interesting? Nervous. Oh, we'll get rid of that. Thanatophobia. Fear of death. Allusion to the... Was it the Greek or Roman god, Thanatos? I believe it was Roman. Don't quote me on that, though. Precision Striker, awesome. That that really is an awesome trait, but it's not the best tool. Quick Draw, meh. Slayer of Eldritch, okay, I'll take that. On guard is okay, I guess. The more interesting thing is like, what did they lose to develop all that? That's kind of what I'm saying. That it's I lose track of it really, but yeah, we now have all of our quest goals complete on this file. Huh. All right. Well, that's that. Oh, I was curious. Did the statue change? No, it didn't. Maybe it'll change later. I don't know. I thought it might, get like a bigger, fancier statue because now we killed all the bosses. But none of that. Oh shit! Fitzroy's a tippler. It's no good, man. Can't have alcoholics around here. In town will never drink. See, that's what I want to see. I sent both of these guys to drink. One of them became a tippler, which is basically an alcoholic, because they can only drink. And the other one became resolute. He will never drink. Alright, cool. And we had a lot of stress to relieve, because I actually had some backlogs, because I had people in the sanitarium. Alright, we had them here getting rid of their stuff, which, speaking of which, somebody had, like, nervous. I don't know what you mean. Nervous? Well, I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of an early, kind of wrap things up here. And I would just want to thank everyone for watching this, if you did watch this. Which, if you're listening to this, you probably did. But yeah, thank you for watching. I am starting up. Obviously, you can probably tell this is a fairly new channel. This is, well, at the time of watching this, is possibly the only audio commentary that I have available to you guys here on YouTube. I do intend to do more. I'm actually looking forward to starting a new save file and just, doing a let's play series all the way from the beginning to see if we can basically recreate this success. I have had a fair bit of success, like as you can see in my graveyard. Our poor Dismas, he is the highwayman that starts with you in the tutorial, along with Renaud over here, who is currently a legend. Dismas only ever made it to Master, which is level 4. He actually died not too long ago. Fitzroy kind of became my favorite highwayman for really no particular reason. He was always a bit higher level than Dismas, even though Dismas had been along longer. But yeah, he died. He got puked on. That's a terrible way to go. Rest in peace, Dismas. But yeah, it's a fairly empty graveyard. So I think we've had a fair bit of success. All the buildings, as I said, are 100% complete. Anybody want some crests, some deeds? Sell them cheap. Oh, I forgot to check the Nomad wagon. Ooh, hello. I obviously don't particularly need. I'll go ahead and move this somewhere. Just put it there for now. I'll take care of my OCD needs later off camera, so not annoy you guys terribly. But I'll go ahead and buy this. Obviously, don't need any more copies of it. I have like 8 of them at the moment or something silly like that. But yeah, it's just nice. But in the same token, I'll take that. Oh, that's not a Berserker's Charm. It's a Recovery Charm. It's kind of annoying. Like, I've heard that this thing is just a placeholder icon. The icon is what I'm talking about. It's just a placeholder, and eventually they'll get their own like cool little trinket icons or whatever. But it's kind of confusing because currently a lot of them do share it. So I thought that was a Berserker's Charm, which is over here somewhere. Here. Yeah, they're okay, but I prefer bracers. Anyway, as I was trying to say earlier, thank you very much for watching. I do intend to continue my gaming coverage, so if you're new to the channel, if you've liked my first attempt here at an audio commentary, you would be most welcome to hit that subscribe button, stick around, and hopefully I'll produce something else for you to watch before too long, and hopefully you enjoy that as well. Thank you very much, and may you have a great night.